Hey everyone, it's Snack Chat again. I'm Tina, as you all know, and if you don't know, then you need to go back and watch all the other videos to introduce myself. But it's me, Tina, and we're here to talk about exercise in recovery and how that works, pretty much. And I have a guest today in person who is a great friend of mine and has very special topics and important points to bring up, and I'm excited to talk about it. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to introduce my friend. Is it your full name? Both double names?
Sure.
Or just one name?
Do the whole thing.
This is Amy Ruffalo Quinn.
I'm so excited to be with my really good girlfriend Tina with a snack chat.
Snack Chat.
Snack chat. Oh.
Snack Chat.
Snack chat.
Yeah. So today, we're here.
Yeah,
I have a person in front of me.
So excited
Yes.
to be here.
Tell me about yourself.
Yeah. So I am a licensed clinical social worker,
Okay.
and I've been practicing therapy for about 8 years now.
Uh-huh.
This wasn't my first career.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I used to be a dolphin trainer.
Oh, my
Believe
God.
that or not. But we'll talk about that later.
Talk about it later.
But, you know, I'm also an athlete, and I've been an athlete for my entire life. And exercise has been something that has been really important in my life. It's, you know, it's something that is really good for us to do, but with someone who is recovered from an eating disorder, when you're in the eating disorder, it can get really slippy.
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 Yeah.
Like slippery slip.
Slippery slip.
Slippery slip. So, you know, from my athletic career, I was a runner all through high school and college, and my eating disorder really kind of took a turn for the worse when I was in high school, and then you know, college became a little bit more competitive with the pressure. So, you know, finding support system, finding what was going on with me individually, and really kind of figuring out like what I needed to do to perform, but also take care of myself, because that is where the lines get really blurred. You feel like I just need to push myself and go to perform at your highest, you know, your expectation of what would be best, and you end up running on E, right?
For sure. So you, to back up, so you were a runner in high school.
Yes.
Okay, and then you were such a badass, pretty much, that you were also a runner in college.
Yes.
Okay, and you were on teams in college, and where did your eating disorder kind of begin? High school or college?
High school.
High school, okay. And so I think you were telling me this, which I think is so important, and disclose what you want, and we can bleep out what you don't want. So, Billy!
He's very excited.
She's just gnawing on a bone. Give me that bone. It's Billy's bone. So can you quiet it down? I'm interviewing for a second, okay? Okay. So I think there was something that fueled the eating disorder a little bit more, which kind of upsets me hearing that. Would you share about that? About the authority figure, and you know, like, because that to me, I think in a lot of my clients, what I hear, you know, and it's really common, is that someone that is an authority figure who's a very strong influence in their life is giving them mixed messages, and for someone that's so malleable in that phase in their life, it's triggering.
I know. I mean, think about it. We're so impressionable just as humans, and especially like as young adults. And so what I was talking with Tina about, my my coach in my first college that I was at was he gave us a lot of kind of restrictions. We had weigh-ins. We were told kind of like what we needed to watch to eat, and was someone who
Not by a dietitian.
Not by a dietitian. Yeah, I know. And in Division I school, it didn't have that. So, it was really sad. But as someone who just wanted to do well, I was like, okay, this is what I have to do. And it really backfired. I got injured my first year.
So you weren't eating enough because you were taking advice from your coach,
who said I needed to
lose weight, which is just preposterous because you didn't need to lose weight.
Nope.
So restricting, exercising competitively, and it caused injury and your body to respond naturally how it should, which communicating, we only have one voice from our bodies, and our bodies communicates through either, well, hopefully not in a normal life, but through injury or kind of pain and telling us to slow down. So
totally.
So is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My IT bands, I got super injured because I was just pounding the miles in, and I wasn't eating enough. I wasn't taking care of my body. I wasn't sleeping enough, because when you're not eating enough, then you have insomnia, and then you're even more stressed because you're not giving your body enough nutrition.
Right.
And
it's
so it was just a downward spiral.
Downward
spiral.
We get it.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a really great support system. My parents were like, what's going on? Because I would also I passed out a couple times in races, which was really scary. I had to go to the hospital one time.
That's communication.
Yeah.
That's the only way it knows how. Yeah.
My body was basically, speaking for me, because I felt like I didn't have a voice to do that.
For sure.
So after that experience, I knew I needed to make a change. So I talked to my folks, and I was like, I can't run for this team anymore. And I went to another university, and they welcomed me with open arms. They felt so bad. That was what I had to, that was my experience, and that shouldn't have been my experience. And they linked me up with a great nutritionist, and they linked me up with just such like a positive attitude and body positivity. And it was life-changing.
So then this story kind of makes me happy and recognize that there are positive coaches out there that do the right thing. So will you tell a little about that?
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, okay, now I donate all running coaches. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, my running coach at the second university that I was at, so University of Pittsburgh, he was so incredible. Very supportive. He made sure that we were all eating well, that we were getting enough sleep, really checking in on us, and our mental health, which was very cool. I didn't have that at the other university that I was at.
Yeah.
And so we would have these meetings before practice, and kind of like an intention.
That's
so something
cool.
that we do in therapy a lot is, and you probably do this in your work, is what's the intention for the week? What's the intention for the session?
Yeah.
What do you want to work on?
Yeah.
So we would do that before we would start a workout, before we would start a run, before we would have a race.
Yeah.
What's the intention for today?
That's positive,
Yeah, and then you get pumped up, and
for
you pump each other up, and we each went around, and we had our own intention, which was really cool. It was like, oh my gosh, group therapy, but it's not, but it is. It's just thrown away that stigma, you know? And it's this is what we need to be doing as humans, connecting, and how we can build each other up.
Yeah.
And then at the end of, the workout, the race, whatever it was, we came together, we talked about the struggles, the frustration, so we had space to let all of that out, and then we were just encouraged, you know?
So did this coach ever tell you that you needed to eat a certain amount or weigh a certain amount?
Nope.
No. And so you kind of just got to be your intuitive self.
Yes.
And so then how did that affect your performance compared to being restrictive and controlling your body weight and stuff like that, and then getting injured?
Yeah. So, my performance was definitely stronger. I'm going to say that. It's kind of sad because all of that pressure and I wasn't taking care of myself as I should. The injury really, complicated the rest of my running career. I had some flare-ups, and oh my gosh.
Guys, just everyone pause it. Don't attack too fast because then she's going to go away.
Hi.
But I really want to take a moment in time to introduce Booby! Guys, she made it today. She's here.
She and I have been coming more
Snuggle
and more.
bugs.
Snuggle friends.
Oh my gosh.
And she just hopped on the table because she wanted to join.
Yeah, anyways, don't let me interrupt you.
Yeah.
So, I think that the thing that's cool is that, you kind of what you were saying before I so rudely interrupted was that, your performance did get better, but before, you weren't taking care of yourself, not because you didn't want to, but because someone was telling you to not, and you were more susceptible in that phase in your life, I feel like. And so, I remember one thing that stuck out in what you were telling me, not on Snack Chat, was that you didn't want to be doing what your coach was telling you. But as kids and as teens, we want to be respectful. We think we're supposed to listen to those individuals. And as this coach or parent or older brother, sister, whoever it is in your life, if they're telling you to do something, you're like, my intuition is saying no, but
it's like I already knew, this isn't good for me.
This isn't good, but I guess because that's what they're telling me. And I want to be a good runner. I want to perform well. And
I was on scholarship. I was like, I have to get better.
But it didn't make you get better.
Mm-mm.
And so I think such a cool thing is that the thing that did make her get better was actually eating and allowing her body to maintain at its weight that it wanted to. And taking care of herself mentally and physically. Yeah.
It's so crazy. I talked to my folks and they were like, oh my gosh, if you were to started at University of Pittsburgh,
what would have happened?
What would have happened? Because it was just such a positive environment.
Yeah.
And I was just taking care of myself so much better.
Yeah.
But the injury, I think, it did make a difference. And even to this day, I love to run still, but I don't run a lot, maybe twice a week. And sometimes I just don't run for a couple of weeks. If I have a flare up, I have to stretch and really listen to my body.
Yeah.
So it's just really tuning into what your body is needing.
Yeah.
And, having those experiences where I fainted, where, I injured myself, that was my body saying, whoa, this is too much.
Yeah. And it really is the only form of communication that your body has, which is to send those signals. And there's a difference between pushing yourself to okay, I'm going to push myself to get better, or I'm pushing myself in that moment because I'm engaging in something difficult and challenging for my body, versus pushing myself I'm not fueling my body. This is physical pain. I feel like it's an injury. Those are the things that I hope if you're engaging in physical activity that you're processing with someone about, because it can be confusing. And especially if you're in recovery or you're, starting, if you're a teen and noticing some negative influences from people and you're like, this doesn't seem right. I feel like it's best to try to go talk to somebody that isn't really connected to that particular thing. It's not your coach. Maybe reach out to your parent, but maybe go ask to talk to somebody else that's kind of a neutral party in your life. So
listen to that intuition because it really knows.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know we had jumped into immediately your story, but so what do you do now? You're a therapist.
Yes.
Yeah. And we met each other working at the EDCC.
Mhm.
And so I know you were a therapist there, but now what do you do?
So now I have my own private practice.
Ooh.
I know, it's so exciting. In the beautiful beach city of El Segundo.
El Segundo.
And
She doesn't have an accent.
Yeah, no, a little Pittsburghese one. But it's right by the beach, so I do a lot.
By the beach, boy.
So I do a lot of exposure work. I do a lot of, body image work too, with being in your bathing suit and, kind of seeing what that's like and really enforcing positive affirmation and feeling more comfortable, grounding skills within the sand, with the ocean, kind of using nature as a way to connect back with yourself and with the world.
Right.
And with humans, like human-to-human connection. I'm all about that. And so I work with individuals, couples, families, teenagers. I specialize in eating disorders, anxiety disorders, self-esteem, and relationships. And I also, like I mentioned, I used to be a dolphin trainer, and dolphins were a huge part of my recovery process too. So when I was 18, I did a Dolphins in Depth course in Curacao, and I absolutely just fell in love with these mammals. They really helped actually heal. They really helped heal me from my eating disorder.
Yeah.
They just allowed me to have a different perspective of what was important.
Yeah.
And I went back for the next 5 years as a volunteer dolphin trainer.
I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? My God.
It was amazing. Amazing. And I wrote my thesis paper on dolphin-assisted therapy with eating disorders, and my professor was like, you have to make this happen someday.
It's amazing.
So
drum roll. It's happening! Or it's happened. It's happened a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so I have a small business called Your Beautiful Beginning. I'll have
Don't worry,
Tina
I'll
put it in the show notes.
There. Yeah.
And it is Wild Dolphin Wellness Retreats, and they are very special. Very special. Very near and dear to my heart, and I'm so grateful I got to bring Miss Tina with me last year.
It was amazing. Mm-hmm. There was a part of me that was very terrified.
Yes.
I mean, I've never been so scared in my life initially, but then once you're in it, it's just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then we also saw, what were those other ones? Pilot whales. And I felt like I was going to die before I got in the water, just before, because the guide was like, hey, BS, there's sharks behind us. And I'm like, this is it. This is how I die. And then once you're in it, it's like all of your fears and any anxieties or stressors like get wiped away because you're being accepted into this like massive creature's world. Yeah. And I don't know. It's amazing. Amazing. The dolphin experience, what for me was like, I was swimming for so long with this one dolphin, and then I was like, when it all stopped and the dolphin left me, because it's like the dolphin and I are swimming, locking eyes, connecting, and I mean, after a while I came back up, I'm like, where's everybody? Like, I guess I was just swimming a while for this dolphin, but they came right away and got me. So it's completely surreal. So I can't even imagine someone that's actively in recovery needing, and we'll talk about this in like 5, but needing some other connection. We need to fulfill ourselves with other things to, work through the eating disorder. And I feel like this is such a cool way to incorporate maybe some spirituality, but also physical movement. Yeah. Because we're swimming.
We've been around for a while.
Yeah, we're being literally a dolphin. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I feel like my breath gets taken away every time I am in the water with them. And it's such a individual experience for everybody involved. Like
so
Tina
crazy.
was saying, like, you just kind of get lost in the moment.
Yeah.
And what a beautiful experience, because if you're battling with an eating disorder or like severe anxiety, you're not in the moment. You are thinking like 20 million miles ahead, or ruminating on the past or food and your body, and you're missing out of the connection and being present in the moment. So this, I think, just kind of forces it in a really natural, organic way. Yeah. And so it really kind of gives us access to deeper emotions that are hard to they're hard to surface because there's so much junk in the way.
So much junk.
Yeah, so it really kind of cleanses that out a bit. And the dolphins, their sonar, it actually breaks up impaired cells in our body and releases it. So there's actually like science behind this.
I love science.
Yes, I know. There's lots of research about craniosacral work with the dolphin's rostrum. It's their nose, and it gets placed on your temples, on your forehead, and their echolocation, their sonar, breaks up damaged cells. Oh and it really helps heal the damaged cells.
You know what I would love on the next dolphin trip that we go on, which is in July? Can't wait. Maybe give some education on that. That would be so cool, you know, because I think that, I mean, I'm a science nerd, and I think, you know, there's so much spirituality in that one experience, but that would be cool, because I did not know that.
Yeah, I can give a little discussion about the science part of their echolocation, their sonar, and how it, a lot of people do dolphin-assisted therapy in the Florida Keys and Curacao. That's where I worked at the Dolphin Academy. For chronic pain, for children with disabilities, autistic children, traumatic brain injuries, mute children, anxiety. It just really allows the body to relax.
Yeah. Well, I was definitely very relaxed.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, what great evidence too, where you were like, feeling like, oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Freaking out. I love the water, but the ocean, we were in the middle of nowhere. Like,
deep blue sea.
And then you look down and it's endless blue. So then, of course, what my head's picturing is this shark coming up and like just biting my head off. And I was anxious. I was very anxious, and I'm not an anxious person. But then once it's like, okay, just go be with the dolphin, and then you're with the dolphin. It's like this is like this immediate calming aura over me. Yeah. So I'm going to put the website on here. Guys, check it out. It's freaking amazing. But I think, okay, so this kind of brings me into like somewhat of our closing topic. Yes, I'm reading my notes. So I think that having, you know, in recovery, or when you're actually struggling, the eating disorder kind of becomes your thing. It makes your life very egocentric on the actual struggle, and everything else kind of takes second, third, fourth, fifth priority. And in these processes, either through mindful movement or through some sort of spirituality and nature or higher power, whatever you end up choosing, that actually can allow us to add something else in, so that it gives us the opportunity to let go of the eating disorder. You know? So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah. I mean, I always say when you're passionate about something that's good for you, hang on tight.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, self-doubt it can really get in the way easily, judgment, but that shit doesn't matter. Sorry.
Oh, you're allowed to swear.
It really doesn't matter if there's something that you love. Like, if you love being creative and doing crafts, like, I mean, look at this beautiful thing. Like, Tina made this with her bare hands.
Isn't it amazing?
It's like beautiful.
I can't even look at it. It's just so good.
It's beautiful. But when you're passionate about something that, you know, you can get lost in it, and it's good for your soul, and it's a healthy coping. It's not destructive like the eating disorder or other destructive behaviors.
Right.
So, you know, the ocean and the dolphins and whales, it's been something that I've always been passionate about. And, you know, when I was really wrapped up in the eating disorder, like, that kind of faded a little bit, but when I would come back to like, okay, I know this isn't good for me.
Yeah.
I would start YouTubing. I would start doing research and journaling about like what I envision for my life, the things that I want to do, and it's a starting point.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
So it's baby steps. Like creating this business took over 10 years of thinking and thought and coming together. And you know, if you put your mind to something, you can do anything.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, those are powerful words right there.
Yeah.
Glitter coming out. Yeah. Yeah. So I think, like, if you're in the phase of struggling, if you can't figure out how to, or let's say you're in recovery right now and you can't really find the way to balance something that you love, whether that is exercising and movement, then I think it's important to reach out, because having your team involved to help you come to this really peaceful place, you know, is really important. Because I think it, even though all this is amazing, we're talking about, okay, hey, yeah, like we can be mindfully moving and swimming for however many hours with these dolphins. Like, at the same time, we both are in that place where we can trust our bodies fuel itself, so that we're not kind of sitting in, you know, your first college experience and being like, now my body's injured because I'm having all these mixed messages in my head. So get with the team.
Can I say one thing with that?
Say it, yes.
Okay, so something that I think is really cool too, if you're not really sure what I want, if you're like, well, I don't know what the fuck I want, you know, or what I want to do.
Yeah.
Just bleep that out.
I don't know how to do that. I only know how to add in text.
Sugars. So a vision board. Like, create a vision board, like take pictures, take magazines, things that you like, people in your life that you like. Start doing that and work with the team, work with the therapist, like even bring your friends involved. Like this is something that I think can be really powerful and can be fun to do.
Yeah.
And just, it's a starting point of like, okay, I know I like the ocean. I know I like the beach. I know I like doing arts and crafts. Or
running, or yoga, or whatever.
Yeah.
I like the vision board. It kind of organizes your thoughts.
So you're not all over the place.
What can somebody do if they're not creative?
If you're not creative, I think, because
do like a spider web of words or something?
Yeah.
Maybe?
I mean, I think you can just do, like, kind of like a map of, like, words that you like. And then, I mean, if there's pictures, you know, you don't have to be creative to look at pictures, or the pictures that you've taken, like memories that are special to you, like childhood memories, like maybe you can connect with fun times in childhood. Maybe you want to be a teacher. You really like being around kids.
Right.
There's so many things, but I think just start putting it on paper.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, things sound and feel different when we just have them in our head.
For sure.
And when we put them down on paper and we start talking about it more, like the ideas just start to surface.
I love it.
Cool.
I love it. I love it. So, well, we're right on time. I mean, look at that time right here. I mean,
I know.
I want to keep them within 30 so that I don't lose people, but I mean, the time has just flown by. So, okay, any closing thoughts? If we could wrap this all up, you've shared with us deep secrets and your amazing goals and some wonderful things to research.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts.
I just want you guys to know full recovery is possible.
100%.
100%. I am living, breathing proof that it's possible. I had a gnarly eating disorder that ran my life for a long time. Yeah. And connecting with people, being raw, honest, helped me heal. Yeah. Our relationships heal. Our demons, our struggles. And so connection, like keep connecting, don't isolate. That's not going to make you feel better. Even though it feels like it might. Right. Do the opposite. So say yes to things that you would normally say no to. Reach out when you're feeling anxious versus isolate. Right. Do the harder thing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think, you know, Aim's eating disorder was triggered by and in an exercise situation, and now she has a really solid relationship with herself, her body, exercise. So there is full recovery in that even if there was an exercise struggle, there can be healing in that without feeling
like it still exists.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
absolutely. Like,
so.
yeah, I mean, it's really just having, like you're having a better relationship with the food, with the eating disorder. You're going to have a better relationship with exercise in your body.
Yeah.
You're going to feel grateful for, like, all the functionality of it.
For sure.
And really want to take care of it because we only are given one.
That's it. Well, cool. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, everyone, that was our snack chat. I just realized I forgot to put a disclaimer in the beginning about this is not therapy. This is solely just for education. And even though Amy is a therapist and I'm a dietitian, we are not providing you therapy over a video. So if you need further discussion, you should reach out to your team of therapist, dietitian, whoever else is on your team, and discuss it further and maybe tune into what your specific recommendations and goals are. So this is not therapy over a video. Okay,
No.
Just saying. So yeah, this is Amy. I will put all of her information on, and yeah, I will see you next time on Snapchat.